Hey, Mike, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Just curious, when you looked at the film, what areas were you happy with from Saturday's game in terms of your play in the offensive line in general? And then where were some areas you thought maybe could be improved during this week of practice?
Thought we were happy with how we fought in the game, just kind of willed ourselves to win the game, and um, thought we were happy with how we were able to make adjustments in at halftime and come out in the second half and put those adjustments to work on the field. But then there's just some other details and stuff that we need to get cleaned up this week and going into Ball State.
Tyler Donahue and then Corey Geiger, you'll be on deck.
Hi, Mike. Thanks for your time this morning. Wanted to ask about your old spot at left guard. We saw a couple guys working in there with Wiggin and Wilson in game one. Curious on Eric Wilson. He came in, he stayed in. How do you feel about the kind of the rhythm that he gained as the game went on?
Well, both of them have had really good camps. They've both gotten a lot better over the last month and a half that we've been playing. And then both of them, came in and needed to get used to that speed at first, maybe for a play or two, but they kind of got that experience under their belt, both of them. And then, just kind of worked it out throughout the game and got better as it went on. And so I think that was a good experience for them week one.
Corey Geiger and then Tobias Wilburn, you'll be on deck.
Mike, you can disagree if you want. It looked like the pass blocking was pretty good. Sean didn't get hit a lot. Run blocking, you only had 50 yards rushing, and 34 of those were on one carry. How would you differentiate the run blocking versus the pass blocking?
Well, I guess we probably didn't run block as well as we wanted to, and we probably didn't pass block as well as we wanted to too. That's always kind of how it goes, but it just comes down to finding those mistakes, learning from them in the game, and then figuring out how to correct them the next week as you work through the week in practice.
Tobias Wilburn and then Daniel Gallen, you'll be on deck.
Hey, man, thanks for the time as always, brother. Hope you're doing well.
Yep, you too.
With the second half, there did seem to be a little bit more protection for Clifford, as well as you guys did start to kind of open up some lanes. What were you guys able to do different against their defensive seven than the first half, and how do you carry that over going into Ball State?
We were just able to talk it over in the locker room, figure out what we needed to do differently, and then we translated that onto the field in the second half.
Daniel Gallen, then Max Ralph.
Hey, Mike, this was your first game with Mike Yurcich as offensive coordinator. What was he like throughout the afternoon? What's his demeanor like on the sideline? And, I guess, how has it been, going these past couple of months in practice now in the game?
He's just a good leader for our offense. He's a great coach. He always puts us in great positions to be successful on the field. Just a good leader for us.
Max Ralph and then Tyler Donahue.
Mike, thanks for your time. I'm curious to ask a little bit about Noah Kane. He's been through a lot the past year, and then even in the weeks leading up to the game here, Hurricane Ida hit his hometown. Does it make you want to block for a guy like him? What about him, having him behind you, blocking for him? What's special about him?
Well, I want to block for any of our running backs, first of all. But, I've been around Noah a lot now. We've gotten to know each other, built a friendship, built a relationship. So that's always important when playing with someone on the field.
Tyler Donahue and then back to Corey Geiger.
Mike, if I could ask about your starting quarterback, Sean and your offense struggled to produce in the first half. Second half, not only did you produce a bit more, but you avoided the turnovers that were an issue in 2020. How do you see Sean handle himself coming out of halftime and maybe during halftime, speaking with his teammates?
We always have belief in Sean. We're always confident in him. He's always confident in himself and us and the offense as a whole. And then ball security has been a huge emphasis for us since the middle of last season all the way through spring ball and now. So it's just all those reps in practice paying off and hopefully continuing to pay off throughout the rest of the season.
Corey Geiger and then David Eckert.
Like most people never played offensive line, so we have to rely on you guys to explain this to us, really. So how long does it take? How many games does it take for an offensive line each season to really feel like you're cohesive and connected and gelling?
It's not really about games. It's about the practices we have in camp and the practices we have during the week. I don't know if there's a specific time where I'd say you would start gelling or anything like that. I would just say that as you practice every single day throughout a season, it just gets better and better.
Dave Eckert.
Hey, Mike. Just wanted to ask you a little bit about your communication on Saturday, especially kind of in the middle of the offensive line there, where that's important. How do you guys think you handled that playing in front of a road crowd for the first time in a while?
I think our communication on Saturday was good. There were some times where it could have been better for sure. So it's just something we need to keep working on in practice, and then this week and in today's practice specifically.
Currently no hands raised in the chat right now. Does anyone have any further questions? Tyler Donahue, we'll come back to you.
Thank you. Mike, how has your adjustment gone to center? And is there any kind of, I guess, essential changes that you need to make in the way you approach the game when you're moving over from left guard?
I'd say the transition's gone fine, and I guess I'm snapping the ball now.
Fair enough.
Tobias Wilborn.
A lot of the guys haven't played a home game at Beaver Stadium. What kind of conversations have you guys had about playing there, and what are some of your memories of playing there in front of full crowds?
We haven't had any conversations as a full team, I guess, necessarily about it. I guess everyone's just excited for it, and there's been conversations here and there, just excitement to get back in that atmosphere. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's just we're going to run out of that tunnel, and then I'm going to take it in for a few seconds and then get ready to play the game, and that's just how I'm approaching it.
If I can follow up.
Yeah, go ahead, Tobias.
Overall, just for you personally, what did it mean to you to play at Wisconsin, road game there, but then two, what will it mean to you to just have the experience of 107,000, and what should people who maybe haven't gone to a Penn State game with fans look forward to?
The best part about that Wisconsin game was going 1-0 last week, and hopefully we can look forward to going 1-0 this week.
Tyler Donahue.
We saw Devon Ellie's in action on Saturday. He's a guy that we haven't had a chance to see much of during his career. I'm assuming you've worked against him quite a bit. How has he come on in his third year on campus to put himself in a spot to contribute?
He's one of those guys that's just been getting better ever since he got here. He does all the extra work. I saw him doing it in the summer, and then now through camp and into the season. He's the guy that's putting in the extra hours and the extra reps to get better, and it's been paying off for him really for the last few years. It's been a steady growth for him, so I'm excited to see what he can do this season.
Audrey Snyder.
Hey, Mike. Been asking a lot of your teammates kind of at what point they realized that AK was really good and belonged here. Was there a moment this spring or off season that you felt he was going to be a really good defensive end?
Probably the first time we did one-on-ones and I saw his get off the line, pass rushing. That was right there.
Do you remember who he was going against? I mean, did he flat out beat somebody or?
No, I mean, he was going against a tackle. I don't remember who it was, but I just remember seeing just how sudden the get off was. Really, this was what it was, and then how he was able to bend and accelerate through his rush and everything. Like, it was pretty clear right away that he can move a little bit differently than everybody else. So
we've got time for about two more questions. Greg Pickle.
Mike is an interior guy. Speaking of working against defensive linemen, Devon Elise was a guy who we saw a good bit of at Wisconsin. What have you seen in him growth-wise throughout spring practice, summer camp, if you got the chance to work with him, and then obviously leading up to game day?
He's just been putting in extra time and extra reps after practice, after summer workouts, after camp practices and stuff like that. He's just been trying to get better every day. So I'm excited to see it pay off for him this season.
Any other questions for Mike? Mike, thank you. Everyone have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.